In the 1930s and 40s, everyone loved the big bands, like the Glenn Miller Band. And the Tommy Dorsey Band. This was also the era of the crooners, the big band singers who went solo, and Bing Crosby was the biggest of them all. And in the early 50s, Afro-American singers started getting play on white radio. Nat King Cole was one of them. However, unbeknown to anyone, it was all to change in the late 50s. There was an explosion that changed the course of music forever, and they called it rock and roll.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, you shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Well, it's been a while, hey, baby,
but the bridge between the crooners and the rock singers was a singer-songwriter who conquered the world. They call him the father of rock and roll, and his name, Johnny Ray.
If your sweetheart sends a letter.
And this is his story.
All by myself, no one to talk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. I know for certain the one that I love, I'm through with flirting, it's just you I'm thinking of. I ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, out of nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, honey, I don't go out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, me and my radio. I'm misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, honey, I don't go out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, me and my radio. I ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Saving my love. Baby, how they talk, baby, how they talk, baby, it's the talk of the town. I can't show my face, I can't go any place, people stop and stare, it's so hard to bear. Everybody knows you've left me, it's the talk of the town. Every time we meet, I just stop to speak, though it's just a week, we don't stop to speak. Everybody knows you've left me, it's the talk of the town. We sent out invitation to friends and relations, announcing our wedding day. Those friends and relations gave congratulations. How can I face them? What can I say? Well, let's make up, sweetheart. Don't let's stay apart. We can't let foolish pride keep you from my side. Everybody knows you've left me, It's the talk of the town. Whoa. All dolled up in glad rags, but tomorrow may turn to sad rags. My poor little glad rag doll. I know that you're desired, I know that you're invited, but only by lovers who soon grow tired. My poor little glad rag doll. You're just a pretty little toy they all like to play with. You're not the kind they have on their mind to grow old and gray with. Well, don't you make this the end, dear. It's never too late to make amends, dear. My poor little rag doll. You're just a pretty little toy they all like to play with. You're not the kind they have on their mind. You're just a toy for them today, so listen to what I say now. Well, don't you make this the end, dear. It's never too late to make amends, dear. My poor little glad rag
doll. Johnny Ray was born in 1929, so he grew up at the time of the big bands and when the blues singers, Billie Holiday. In fact, Billie Holiday was one of his favorites. K-Star was another one of his favorites. He was a piano player, loved to play piano, jazz, and blues was the main thing that he was into, and tried to get some things going in the late 40s, but nothing really too much happened. So he headed off to Detroit. Now, Detroit was where all the black music was going, all the blues, as I just said, and there was a club there called the Flame Club, and that was only blacks. Somehow he went there and he got the job as the piano guy in the intermission between the stars. But he was so good that they decided to put him as a star as well. So he actually was the first white guy to do so very, very well in a black club. And of course, remember, these were the times when the blacks were over here and at the back of the bus, and the whites were over here at the front of the bus. So it was something else. But because of that, he also gained a lot of enemies. A lot of people didn't like the fact that he was fraternizing with those people and called him nigger lover and all that stuff. And unfortunately, it was a bit of a hard travel for him, and a lot of that lasted right through his life. But while he was there, he managed to secure a record contract with OK Records, a black label, once again. And he was a songwriter, so his first record was a record with 2 songs that he wrote. And I'm going to do one for you now. And it's a great bluesy jazz song. It's called Whiskey and Gin.
Loves whiskey and gin. Yes, I've got me a gal who drinks whiskey and gin. Well, she kisses me goodnight, hugs and squeezes me tight. Oh Lord, I just love it so. Then she turns out the light, there ain't a cloud in sight. She takes me to the river where the still waters flow. I got me a gal who drinks whiskey and gin. But who knows where love begins or where it ends. I guess I know this lush life has got to go. although it ain't a sin to love a gal who drinks whiskey and gin. Well, she kisses me goodnight, hugs and squeezes me tight. Oh Lord, I just love it so. Then she turns out the light. There ain't no cloud in sight. She takes me to the river where the still waters flow. I got me a gal who drinks whiskey and gin. But who knows where love begins or where it ends. Well, I never much care what other folks say. I'm gonna love my baby in my own special way. Well, she is my baby. Here's another one that he wrote. I'll never fall in love again. It's all over now. It takes a heart to know the end. I tried to feel the thrill of romance and love, and let my foolish heart become enchanted by starlight above. I'll pretend I never heard a tender, loving word from you. You found another love and forgotten every joy we knew. Please help me understand the way the angels planned our love affair to end. I'll never fall in love again. I want you to la-la with me. La-la-la-la-la-la. Pretend I never heard a tender, loving word from you. You found another love and forgotten every joy we knew. Please help me understand the way the angels planned our love affair to end. I'll never fall. I'll never fall in love again. Oh, thank you so much. Well, he grew up, as I said before, as a teenager in the early 30s. And of course, he was exposed to the songs that we now call the standards. They weren't then, they were brand new songs then, and he loved them. And when it was his chance to record and do lots and lots of albums, and he recorded nearly 500 songs over his whole career, he chose many and many of the songs that meant so much to him as a teenager. I guess much like we do ourselves when we record. We go back and think, gee, I like that song. I remember the song when I was young. I think I'll put that on my album. Well, he did that. And some of the songs were beautiful songs, the standards that will last forever. And here's a couple. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is still a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers meet, still say I love you. On this you can rely. No matter what the future brings, as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman loves man, and man must have his mate, and nobody can deny. It's still the same old story. Case of love and joy, a case of live or die. No matter what the future brings, as time goes by. Don't blame me for falling in love with you. I'm under your spell, but how can I help it? Don't blame me. Can't you see? Oh, when you do the things you do, my heart can't conceive the thrill that I'm feeling. Don't blame me. I can't help it if that doggone moon makes me want someone like you to love. Blame your kiss, as sweet as a kiss can be, and blame all your charms that melt in my arms, but don't blame me. You know this? Yeah. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my pal. Somebody came and took her away from me. She didn't even say, hey, I'm leaving. That kisses I love so. And many, many times she said she loved me so. Oh, now I know, yes, now I know just how much you really love me so. I'm pretty broken up, pretty broken hearted now. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my pal. Some rotten alley cat came and took her away from me. He didn't even say, hey, we're leaving. That kisses I love so. And the many, many times she said she loved me so. And now I know, yes, now I know just how much you really love me so. I'm pretty broken hearted now. Somebody stole my gal.
thank you so much. Well, you know, Tony Bennett, everybody knows Tony Bennett. He's had a resurgence with his career quite recently. And back in the times when Johnny Ray was around, Tony Bennett was also around. And he referred to him as the bridge between the crooners and rock and roll, the father of rock and roll, he said. Still says it right to this day. He was a big fan of Johnny Ray's as well. And that's about true. He was the first pop singer. And all the other singers, like Bing Crosby and all those guys, they were band singers. They came out of bands, you know, Tommy Dorsey, the Glenn Miller Band, and all those different bands. These guys were the front singers, and then they split off to become stars themselves. Whereas Johnny Ray started off being just a little single dude himself. And of course, if he was the first pop star, the songs that he sang and took to the top, I guess it would be the first pop songs, just like these ones that hit #1. Talk to her, please, Mr. Sun. Speak to her, Mr. Robin, and take her under your branches, please, Mr. Tree. Whisper to her, Mr. Wind. Sing to her, Mr. Robin, and Mrs. Moonlight, put in a word for me. Tell her how I feel. It shouldn't end this way. But because you are all her friends, she'll possibly listen to whatever you have to say. Babble to her, Mr. Brew. Kiss her for me, Miss Raindrop, and watch to see all they do. Please, Mr. Sun. He left the day I saw you leave. I laughed and said I'd never grieve, but after my laughter came tears. I told my friends I didn't care. I laughed about our love affair, but after my laughter came tears. My pride kept me from telling them that I was blue. By myself, you'll never know what I've been through. My lips conceal a heart in pain. I make believe, but all in vain. For after my laughter came to my pride kept me from telling them that I was blue. Oh, but by myself, you never know just what I've been through. My lips
sincere, a heart in pain. I make believe, but all in vain. 'Cause after my laughter came tears. The world.
Here's one song that he recorded, and it was banned at first. They said, that's it, no good. But then later on, they sort of snuck it through, a few of the stations anyway. It's nothing now, absolutely nothing. Goodness knows what they record today. But back then, this song was very, very, very risque.
Well, it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, it makes me happy and it makes me sigh. Ooh, ah, ooh, this is love. Well, it makes me smile, it makes me beam, it makes me silly and it makes me scream. Ooh, ah, ooh, this is love.